everyone. I'm Jodee Rich, and I started writing code in 1972. Does anyone know what I first started writing code on? Yes, Fortran, but punch cards. And punch cards are sort of a long way away from blockchain, but there are some similarities. Centralized, not. Immutable, you could tear them up, but it was very slow to run programs. I'm here to talk about something that we're really passionate about and we dream a lot about with my two friends, Kim Lane and Rand Waltzman. Rand is known as a ex-program manager, former program manager at DARPA. Does everyone know what DARPA does? Yes? The Advanced Research Group inside Department of Defense. And Rand is also someone who thinks a lot about disinformation and is an information scientist. Kim Lane has run many API conferences and is an API guru and is known online as the APIEvangelist. This presentation is going to be online later. You can find it on my LinkedIn. And I'm going to spend 5 or 6 minutes now introducing the topic, and then we're going to have a conversation between us. So, just to start, I'm going to tell you about my favorite book from last year, which was a book by William Hertling called Kill Process. Has anyone read it? Anyone? One person. So there was this really cool engineer who worked at a Facebook-like company called Tomo. And she used to dream about how she could build a better Facebook. And this was one of her best quotes, which is, if you're not paying for the product, you are the product. So I'd like to now come back to my two mates. And I'd like to say, you know, if blockchain marries social, what will the babies look like? Who wants to go first? They look so excited.
If blockchain marries social, what will it look like? Well, it'd be distributed. Blockchain, from my vantage point, is purely storage. It's only it becomes a currency once it has any value. And so, if you think of it in terms of social, I think we've seen that the data, the storage, has a lot of value. But the problem that's in a handful of people's pockets right now, or data centers.
Yeah.
That'd be Mark Zuckerberg, Jack Dorsey, a couple of them. So if the blockchain marries social, we're talking about distributed storage. We're talking about needing APIs. I got to bring in APIs as the API evangelist, and we're talking about people having a lot more control over their information.
Well, so from my point of view, the technology itself is less interesting than the functionality that it provides, what it enables you to do as a user. So as a user, one thing that I'm really interested in being able to do is to own my own conversations. I want to tokenize my conversations. I want to tokenize my social engagements so that I own them and I can do with them whatever I want. And it's a way for me to help my conversations stand out amongst the enormous noise that is in social media. So if they're tokenized and they're put together in a package, then I can pass them around. I can do all kinds of things with them in any way I like. I mean, think about it as like a headphone noise suppressor, where it blocks out all of the massive amount of social media conversation that you have, whatever platform you go on, and it allows you to just focus on specifically whatever conversations you own or you're participating in. So I think those are really sort of major.
So this would be one of the first real applications for blockchain beyond really speculating and trading that could go live very soon.
Yeah.
Where you actually attach conversations to the blockchain and to a coin, and those coins in fact have a life of their own.
Yes. And not only that, but I would feel really good about taking my life out of the hands of Facebook and putting it into my own hands. Right? I don't want them to have my data. I don't want them to know anything about what I'm talking about or anything else. I want my conversations to be mine. I want to control them. I want to know where they are. I'm not interested in anybody else doing that for me as a service. If the technology enables me to do that on my own, spectacular.
And so you can control the permissions and control who actually accesses those conversations. I guess you could even have a little bot that says to companies who want to access your conversations, hey, please pay me some microcoins.
Yeah, so it's actually a way for me to, I mean, it also provides me an opportunity to monetize my own conversations, my own data.
That's really interesting. And how would APIs play a role in that, Ken?
You could open up third-party access, you can revoke third-party access. So if you wanted Facebook to be able to have access to all your messages and actually exchange them within the Facebook environment, you could. There's no, there's no reason that you wouldn't be able to. And as soon as you were done with that platform, you would have all of your conversations within your network, within your wallet. You could take those with you and move them to whatever network you wanted.
And what I really like about it is that no one can shut you down if you're a developer from accessing conversations that are in the blockchain. You can't change the rules once it's out there. And what's been most frustrating for us as we've been running our business is that the rules for how APIs are accessed in social have continually changed and been shut down. And what appeals to me is that once the data is in the blockchain, the developer then can rely on that data being there for a very long time.
Well, another aspect of that also is that it prevents somebody like Facebook from arbitrarily censoring my conversation. Not only that, but I can personalize the whole thing, right? So if you think about the coins themselves as the picture, I can personalize their look. I can make them stand out. I can add additional functionality that would make them stand out in different ways. So if I have an API that allows me to access the technology, I can add all kinds of functionality. I can make a game out of my conversation as a game aspects to it. I can do basically anything I want.
Everyone's been fascinated with how much money they've made out of crypto.
Well, this really, for me, puts focus on the real value of data and storage rather than the speculative value that's created by markets and kind of, people, wanting there to be value and hyping it up.
Well, and also the fact that it's packaged up and it's in units, which can be easily shifted around. That also gives you an object that you can evaluate.
Yeah.
So it provides you something to look at to place a value on, as opposed to an amorphous conversation that takes place in an arbitrary social media platform.
I started this presentation by talking about how I used to punch cards and put them into computers. And I was telling my family about what I'm doing at the moment, and I was saying that I think that all of the industries that I've been a part of and the trends that I've watched, I've never seen an industry that has been so far ahead of itself than blockchain and crypto. Thank you very much, everyone.